Hi everybody, Jake the Spirit Man here. Today we're going to be reviewing some vodka, and we're going to be reviewing a Polish vodka, Żubrówka. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but as far as I know, that's how it sounds. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget, if you do enjoy this video, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for notifications, and give me some comments what you'd like to see Jake the Spirit Man review in the future. And stick to the end of this video. I got a fun fact about Żubrówka Vodka and maybe some words of wisdom for me. So let's get into this vodka, Żubrówka Vodka. Translated into English, it is bison grass. Now, this particular vodka has gone back since the 16th century in Poland. And when I think of Poland, I think of vodka, I think of Madame Curie, I think of pierogies, which I'm in Australia. I cannot find a pierogi in this country if my life depended on it. And I think of borscht. I really want to go to, visit this distillery someday. Anyways, this distillery has been around for a long time, as I just said. It's very interesting. They take the bison grass and they put a little sliver of each one in a bottle. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there's a little sliver of bison grass in there. It has a slightly green tinge to it. That's not from that one little piece they put in there. That is just strictly ornamental. What they do is actually they cut down the bison grass and they kind of grind it all up. They mix it in with some water and some alcohol and let it soak for a few days, and then they infuse it into the vodka afterwards. This vodka is also made from a grain. It is a rye vodka, so it's not a starch vodka like a potato. The other things about this vodka is, well, here in Australia, it's kind of strange. They actually sell it to you at 37.5%, but most of the places in the world, it is sold at 40% alcohol. So I don't know why they've made it a little bit less in Australia, but it is. It's only 37.5, which will make it a bit smoother. It's surprising the human palate. When you take something only down 2.5% alcohol less, it'll make it smoother compared to at 40%, it'll be a little bit harsher on your palate. And when you go actually up a little bit higher, if you go to 42, 43%, it is quite a bit stiffer. So that will make it a bit smoother here in Australia. Other things about this vodka that I find very interesting is, Poland, where this grass comes from, is the last place the bison are in Europe. So it has a lot of history, but interesting thing, this is not a small distillery. They make, I believe it is, 17,000 quarts of this vodka a day. So it is quite popular. It's world famous. It has won tons of awards. I have never tried this bottle, so one of the things you'll notice on my show is a lot of times the spirits that I'm, reviewing, I've never tried before. So when I crack this bottle with most of my shows, the first time I crack it and drink it is the first time I've ever tried it. So it's an honest review. It is not me, tasting it beforehand and saying, oh, this is good now. I don't know what this tastes like. All I know is that we're going to try it together right now, and we're going to see what we think of it, okay? So here we go. We're cracking this bottle of Żubrówka Vodka from Poland. Here we go. Now, right away, it has quite an interesting aroma on it. You can smell a little bit of lavender, maybe a bit of nutmeg, a bit of cinnamon. It has a slightly fresh grass smell to it too, which is almost like I wouldn't compare it maybe with not a lemongrass, but it has like a sweet grass kind of smell to it. So it's quite interesting smell to it. I'm curious to see what it tastes like now. Wow, that is very interesting. A lot of cinnamon flavor to that. A bit of a florally taste, but quite a cinnamon kick, like really cinnamony. You wouldn't think that. One of the other things about this vodka that I forgot to mention is in the distillation process, after they've distilled the vodka and they've infused the grass into it, they actually do add a little bit of sugar in there. And I wish in the future, I wish all bottles would enclose how much sugar they've added after the distillation process to the bottle, because adding sugar to distilled alcohol is kind of like adding MSG to food. It'll make everything taste smoother, and you know, to your palate, it'll be a lot easier to drink. But by doing that, you're actually hiding impurities. You'll have a bigger hangover if you overindulge in a bottle. So they do put a little bit in here. They say it's not very much. They do make it very clear that they do put some sugar in here. I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if it's just a tiny little bit to take a little of the bite and the burn out of it. This drop is quite smooth. This is at room temperature in a subtropical place of Australia. So, you know, I'm quite impressed. I didn't expect it to be as cinnamony as it is. Wow, that is like, but it's a good cinnamon. It's not a sugary cinnamon that you might get in some other liqueurs or some cinnamon alcohols, Fireball and so on and so forth. It's quite and it's got a bit of a hint of a nut in there, very florally. It's, you know, to say it's a vodka, I can't say it tastes like a gin, but it's kind of in a different category. I know it is a flavored vodka, but it is for just putting a bit of grass into a tea and then adding it to vodka. It's quite a nice drop. So yeah, let's talk about some maybe words of wisdom from me. I got a funny story to tell you. It's about little Timmy. Timmy's teacher is walking Timmy home after school, and Timmy's teacher sees up the power lines up there and says, "Hey, there's 3 crows on those power lines," and says, "You know, if I shot one of those crows, Timmy, tell me, Timmy, how many crows would be left?" And Timmy thinks about it for a second and says, "Well, Teach, it's very easy. There'd only be 1 crow left." And Teach says, "Well, how do you figure that?" Timmy says, "Well, it's quite easy. Crows are quite smart, and if you shot one of those crows, the other 2 crows would fly away, and you just have the 1 dead crow left." And Teacher says, "Wow, that's I never thought about it that way. That's quite smart, Timmy." And Timmy says, "Well, Teach, let me ask you a question here. Let me give you an example. If there's 3 ladies sitting on a park bench, and they all got popsicles, and one of them licking the popsicle, and one of them sucking the popsicle, and one of them's biting the popsicle, you tell me, Teach, which one of those ladies is married?" Teach thinks about it for a while, She says, "Well, Timmy, it's the one that would be sucking on the popsicle." And Timmy shakes his head and says, "No, Teach, it's the one that's wearing the wedding band. But I like the way you think, Teach." Now, the moral about this story is, don't judge somebody on how they suck their popsicles or eat their popsicles. And I told you at the end of this video, I'd give you a fun fact about Żubrówka Vodka. Now, Żubrówka Vodka is actually not allowed to be sold this way in the United States of America. So in the United States, you can buy, actually they call it Zoo Vodka in the United States, and it has a slice of grass in it. But the grass in the bottle here has been banned by the FTA in the United States because it actually has some medicinal purposes, and it actually is an aphrodisiac, like you need to get horny adding something to vodka anyways. So they've actually banned it. So in the United States, they have a product very similar, but it is not actually Żubrówka Vodka. It is made for the United States, and it has a different slice of grass in it that gives it a very similar flavor. Apparently, I have never tried it, but it is not the true vodka because of the FTA. So I thought that was quite interesting. So if you're in the United States and you want to go out and say, "Oh, I'd love to try this bottle that I've just seen reviewed on Jake the Spirit Man," you actually can't. You can try a product that is similar, but it is not the true Polish vodka. For today's review on this bottle, I actually thought it was quite nice. I was going in as a bit of a skeptic because I did my research on it. I don't like the fact of adding sugar to alcohol, but I think in this circumstance, we're drinking this stuff neat and having a nice drop. I think it's quite a nice product. I would definitely recommend people to buy it. And when I saw the United States wouldn't allow you to sell it and they made it in a different product, I thought Australia was the same, but no, we're actually getting the stuff from Poland, which is quite nice. And give it a try. Put it in your liquor cabinet. It's got a nice little bottle. It's got a embossed label with the bison on the back, and it's got the grass here. I think it's a nice drop. try it out. And don't forget, you know, to keep the show going, give me the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, let me know some feedback, what you'd like to see in Jake the Spirit Man in the future. And I'm going to see you in the next video because I'm going to keep on doing them. Thanks, guys.